Hello, this is Jamie Lurch from InTheLurch.com, and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the fragrances that I won't be carrying in my shop anymore or that I will be purchasing again. So, the first one on that list is, is Eucalyptus Rain Fragrance Oil 1047 by Crafter's Choice. You could purchase this on Wholesale Supplies Plus. Now, why won't I be carrying it anymore? Well, the answer is that when you put it in soap, or when I put it in soap, it smells like what you would think a traditional soap is going to smell like. It seriously just smells like, if I were to go to the store right now, I could find a soap that smells very similar to any soap that I make here with this particular fragrance oil. I carried it for a long time because I know that there are people out there who want their soaps to just smell like soap. So that was primarily why I carried it, and primarily why I won't be carrying it anymore in the future. Now, that said, Eucalyptus Rain Fragrance Oil 1047 does make a magnificent cologne. It makes a magnificent cologne. A cologne that I like to wear, a cologne that I would love and do love smelling on other people. So it makes for a magnificent cologne. But, so there's that. It could also make a good lotion. Like, it could make a good lotion. Rainforest Fragrance Oil 502 by Crafter's Choice or Wholesale Supplies Plus. So I do like this fragrance oil. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this fragrance oil. It's sweet. It smells sort of good. It doesn't smell anything like a rainforest. This is more like a synthetic rainforest type of scent. And I hate to say synthetic, but because it doesn't smell synthetic. When I think of synthetic, I think of like the way some fragrances smell like the inside of a car or something like that. Like the inside of a car smells synthetic. So I don't mean that it smells like that. It doesn't smell like that at all. It just smells sweet and kind of, I don't know, sweet and kind of tangy. Rainforest is a good fragrance. It's the reason why I won't be carrying this again is because in soap, this fragrance smells like kiwi strawberry to me. And I already have a kiwi strawberry scent that smells like an even better kiwi strawberry than this one does. And so that's why I won't be carrying it again, because it morphs. The fragrance morphs in the soap. And I like my fragrance to not morph in the soap. Which leads me into Sparkling Snowflake. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know why. I won't be carrying Sparkling Snowflake again. Sparkling Snowflake would make a great candle scent. It's fragrance oil 518. It's an essential oil / fragrance oil blend. I just won't be carrying it again because it morphs in the soap. It smells like cinnamon in the soap. It smells like cinnamon pies, sweet cinnamon in the soap. It smells like cinnamon. So the scent morphs in the soap. So I won't be carrying it again because of that. It's really hard to use a scent. I have to keep track of notes, and I'm very lazy when it comes to scents. I am not a fragrance maker. I'm not ever going to be a fragrance maker. I will make fragrances if I have no other choice. But if I have a choice, I would prefer to just buy a fragrance and know that what it's going to smell like in the soap. And I couldn't even guess. I expected this to smell like applewood fir needle because that's the upper scent. That's the higher scent in this. But sometimes what happens when you put it in cold processed soap, the heat and all the saponification means that all you smell is the base scents. And the base scent that I get off of this is cinnamon. So that's why I won't be using this one again. Another one that I won't be using again is Fireside Essential Oil Fragrance Oil Blend 407. Mostly because I can't see selling this to people. Like, how do you sell a bar of soap that smells like a fire to your customers? I don't know how I'm supposed to market that or who would even want to buy a bar of soap that smells like fire? This scent could be used in a candle as like one of those holiday candles that people buy or something like that. But I don't sell candles in my shop, and I'm not going to sell candles in my shop. Now, during my Christmas holiday, I make a Christmas gift every year for those people who are close to me and my family members. I make a Christmas gift that usually has a candle in it. The one this year will have a candle in it. And those are fragrances that might go good in that candle. I might consider using them in that candle, but I won't be using them here again. And now we're going to move on to the flowery fragrances. So I have a couple of Fanny Fragrance Oil 424. I have English Rose by Brambleberry, and I have Lavender and Sage by Nurture Soap. Okay, all of these are on my do not buy again. They all smell very much like flowers, and if you like flowers, you might want to try these 3 scents. English Rose by Brambleberry really honestly does smell like roses, which in my opinion smell like boo boo boo. So I will not be buying them again because I don't like the smell of natural roses or traditional roses. Lavender and Sage. Lavender and Sage, this one I bought because I saw a YouTube video where they recommended using this lavender and sage. So I bought it and I used it. I used it in a hair pomade, and then I used it in at 1%, and then I used it in a soap. I didn't like it in either one of them. The lavender and sage does definitely have more of a sage scent than it does a lavender scent. Lavender has a very good scent, but I need, for my lavender scents, and I'm going to find a lavender scent one of these days. If any of you YouTubers out there know of a lavender scent that smells like more like drifting lavender, like how lavender smells when you're outside and you happen to walk by it from a slight distance and the wind is blowing the fragrance towards you and you smell that lavender. Now that is a fragrance, a lavender fragrance that I could really get down with, like a natural lavender sort of drifting in the breeze. Definitely a fragrance I can get down with. But this lavender and sage, it's too much. The answer is it's too much. And that was my primary complaint with all of these. Like, I use these at extremely low levels, like the Fanny. I bought that because my neighbor, one of my friends, who used to be a neighbor, likes Fannies. And so I bought it. And, oh my gosh. Like, even at extremely low, it's too much. It's too much. The answer is they're too much. And I don't know if that's like a thing. Maybe that's a thing. Maybe people who like flowery scents really like a strong, flowery scent, like overpowering, eye-watering, oh my gosh, I'm gonna choke on flowers, flowery scents. But I'm not one of those people. Alright, and then the last thing I'm going to talk about is Brambleberry's sample pack. So, on brambleberry.com, they have one sample pack that you can purchase. Now, if you want to just try a bunch of fragrances, you can actually build your own sample pack, which is nice. It's nice. You can build your own sample pack from their selection of fragrances, and it'll get sold to you for the same price if you select a certain number. But their sample pack on there, the one they have curated, why I will never buy this again. I will never buy this again, and I would not recommend anyone who does not want to mix fragrances to buy this. there was one fragrance in this pack that I liked. It was Lemon Verbena. I didn't like any other fragrance in the pack that we got on its own. I have a bunch of these left. These aren't all the ones I have left. I mean, I have a bunch of these left. I have like all of them left. And they're hitting their shelf life. And I've had to do a whole bunch of mixing and matching. So when you create a fragrance oil, first of all, you need to look up the IFRA documentation and see what the safe usage rate is. So you have to know safe usage rates. Then you have to get a microscale out. And you have to weigh everything out. I typically weigh out between 2 and 5 grams of each one at a time. And then I put them into a separate container, 1 drop at a time, until I get a fragrance that I like. Then you put that 5 grams or whatever you had back on the scale and see how much you used. And then you get a percentage for each of your fragrances, whether it be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 that you used in your fragrance mixture. And you do some math and you calculate what the safe usage rate is for your new fragrance based on all those percentages. So for those of you out there who are fragrance makers, who really enjoy making your own fragrances, combining one fragrance and another fragrance, this sample pack that's sold by Brambleberry is fantastic for that. It really is fantastic for that. It came with all kinds of just English rose, which really does smell like English rose, Vanilla Select, which really does just smell like vanilla, tobacco and bay leaf, which smells like tobacco and bay leaves, white ginger tea, which smells like white ginger tea. I mean, they're great as far as that's concerned. They smell like what you would expect them to smell like. The downside is that none of these fragrances are good to be used. Like, I'm just going to drop this into a soap. If I could stand the smell of English roses, I could just drop that into a soap. But I can't. Which means that if I wanted just a vanilla smelling soap, I could drop this, which is almost, it's still halfway full. I could just drop that into a soap. I could just drop that. Look how much is left in that. I could just drop it into a soap if I liked the scent as is. But the scent isn't complex enough as is. English rose is not a very complex scent. This is not a very complex scent. So just dropping this into something doesn't really work for me. And so I have to do all the mixing and the drops and all that other stuff in order to come up with a fragrance oil. In fact, that's what I did. I used English Rose and Vanilla Select to get a very similar fragrance to this Rose Water Lemonade fragrance oil, because I ran out of the Rose Water Lemonade, and that's quite literally the mixture, and I did it several different times to get it right. It's the only time I've used either of those fragrances since I purchased them 2 years ago, because they're really great as far as, like, if you are a person who loves to mix fragrances and make your own fragrances, they're fantastic. But for someone like me who's lazy, I want to take this fragrance out of the measure it out according to the RFRA documentation, put it into my soap, and get something similar out the other side to what I smell in the bottle. It doesn't need to be exact, but something similar to what smells in the bottle. That's my preference. Now, that being said, that is not to down Brambleberry about anything, because Brambleberry does have very great fragrances. I purchase fragrances. I have 2 fragrances in my shop of theirs, the Sultry Black Jasmine and the Night, this is my list of permanent fragrances, and the Night Violet fragrance oil are the 2 fragrance oils from Brambleberry that I carry permanently. Carry these in my shop all the time because I really love those two fragrance oils. So that definitely isn't meant to in any way cast shade on Brambleberry. Not at all. It just doesn't suit my lazy nature. It just doesn't suit my lazy nature. I buy a lot of my fragrance oils from Wholesale Supplies Plus because I can buy them in collections. They have a ton of collections up there, and their collection goes on sale, and I go, oh, I'm going to buy that. And I buy a bunch of 2-ounce fragrance oils, and I try them all out, and some of them I continue to carry, and some of them I don't continue to carry because I can't stand them. And I'm just fine with that, because to me, that is more effective than reading the fragrance notes. And I'm trying to be honest here. Like, they try and explain fragrances, and it's like they're talking another language. Like, reading the fragrance notes, for me at least, doesn't tell me at all what that dang thing's going to smell like. It doesn't tell me at all. And so I prefer to purchase the fragrance oil and then use it. But I did purchase another sample pack, one that I curated myself from Brambleberry, where I just selected a certain, they do have a certain number. It's on there, it's at the bottom of, in little small fine print, that if you purchase a certain number, they'll create a sample pack for you. And so if you buy that number of fragrance oils from Brambleberry in a pack, then you'll pay basically the same price that you pay for their sample pack, which is really, really nice. That is a nice feature. Of course, it's time consuming and not quite as great for my lazy nature. But I do occasionally get on there. I have been on there a couple of times and gotten my own set of Brambleberry samples that I've used, and not all of them are like that. So if you curate your own, like this Sultry Black Jasmine fragrance oil, I bought this one, it was in its own curated pack along with Night Jasmine and some Earth of this, I don't remember, a bunch of other ones. And I used all the other ones, and there wasn't a single one that I hated. So definitely not quite as simple starting out, I want to mix fragrances type of, this is more like I like the idea of making my own fragrances sample pack. That's what I thought of that particular sample pack, was it's more like, to me at least, it was more like very basic sense that I have to mix together in order to get something that I actually like out of it. So now to talk about my next video. So my next video will be about my t-shirt release, which will come out November 1st. December 1st is when you will see my release for Hydration Station. This will involve my solid lotion bars, my paste lotion, and my hair shampoos, conditioners, and I'm missing one other thing, I forget what it is. Now, why is my release in December? The answer is the release for that stuff is in December because I only sell those products during the winter months. Those products, like my hard lotion bars, they're designed to melt in contact with your skin, so they're designed to melt at about 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And so in the summer, if you ship them through the mail, they melt. And nobody wants a gunky, melty, to receive a gunky, melty mess in the mail. And the paste has an even lower melting point. So the paste is like a thicker, but more easily spreadable type of skin lotion. Anyways, those two things can only be sold in the summer. I only sell those, or not in the summer, sorry, only in the cold months. So I did put my solid lotion bars up on my website. You'll see that they're up there already, but the the release of my pastes, which do have fragrances in them. They have essential oils or fragrances in them, which my solid lotion bars do not have in them. So, sorry, but my hands smell like fragrances. Uh, so that will be that. But a t-shirt release, and I'm quite a bit more nervous about my t-shirt release than I have ever been about releasing soap. Not because I don't design the soap, because I do design the soap, and not that you don't see any of my artistry in the soap, but it's a lot more personal on paper or on stickers or t-shirts. So you'll be able to buy this stuff in either sticker or t-shirts. So you can buy it on a t-shirt or you can just buy a sticker of it. Um, and it will just basically be just stuff that I saw or that I thought, oh yeah, that would be cool. Uh, so, anyways, I hope that I haven't wasted too much of your time and that you had a good time reviewing scents with me. And have a great day and or night. And I hope that you get a chance to smile today. Uh, have a great day.